All right, Facebook, let's see if we can do this again. All right. Good to see everybody out there. Okay, change the screen up on me. Good to see everyone out there in Facebook land. And like I said, I want to try to run this back again. All right. This is the Golden Future Weekly commentary. All right. This is a commentary dealing with retirement, precious metals, and geopolitics. I did this earlier. I do this every day on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Did it earlier. Was watching the screen. Notice no live. So here we are again. Let's see if we can get this going the second time. And that's about it. So what exactly is the Golden Future Weekly commentary? Let's dive in. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Are you concerned with rising inflation? Are you concerned you won't have enough money for retirement? Are you familiar with the BRICS, fiat currencies, and geopolitics? If you're familiar with any of these, then this is most likely the live for you. All right? Again, Golden Future Weekly. Commentary on precious metals, retirement, and geopolitics. And I am Ronnie Kenyatta. I am a strength conditioning coach by trade. I did that with the New York Mets, within the New York Mets organization for 12 years. At that time, I helped athletes get bigger, stronger, faster, more explosive, more athletic. And now I'm sitting here talking to you about, as I stated, precious metals, retirement, and geopolitics. Um, so let's go ahead and dive right in further, right? So now, if you want to know anything, any more after watching this, if you want to know more about precious metals, just simply DM me, all right? And then we can take things from there, all right? So with that said, now also know this: I am 100% not a financial advisor. I am not a financial professional in any way, all right? If you want to get serious about your numbers, about your finances, that you definitely want to reach out to a financial advisor, all right? What got me into this is I had a kidney transplant in 2017. I was prior to that I was on dialysis. I had a kidney disease for about 17 years. It was a struggle, you know, and there were times I could barely work. And when I got back, when I was able to work, right, initially I was struggling at that time. So I was starting to wonder if I'm going to be able, am I going to be able to handle this retirement thing when it comes around the way I want to? So I started doing my homework, started digging around. Was always into geopolitics at some level. It was into precious metals back in the 2000s. So I said, let's put this thing together. I'm going to get my knowledge. I'm going to share it with those that are interested in the topics I mentioned before. All right. So we're going to dive right in. All right. So I like to start off with letting people know where precious metals are, specifically gold and silver. So have my note. I always have my notes over here. I read off of them some, you know. So not being rude. That's just how I like to do it. So we have gold over here. Gold is at $2,328.80 an ounce, right? And that's down $1.60. Silver is at $29.39, up almost a dollar. All right. So that's where we are. So the way I have this broken down initially, I would speak on um, precious metals, the trends within precious metals, um, geopolitics, and retirement, right? In those three specific categories. But what I learned, and what I'm learning is when I talk about gold and silver, precious metals, geopolitics is right in the middle of that. So that to me, that's like a big old New Orleans batch of gumbo. It's just all mixed up together. So, you know, we might have some separation still taking place, but I'm just going to give you the information. As you're going to see, they're going to flow together. That is, the geopolitics and the gold and silver, precious metals are going to flow together. Retirement is easier to handle. It's on its own separate island. All right. So, what I like to do is dive into the precious metal trends. All right, and doing my research last week, what I found out was really what people, the experts in the gold, the precious metals community are doing. They're trying to find the ground. What is the ground price going to be for gold, right? And or you could say the baseline. In the past, the ground was 600, 800. but gold has skyrocketed. So we've been sitting around 23, 2200, and people are trying to figure out what's that new floor before gold takes things up to another level. And the number that's being thrown around for the resources I came across 2200. That's going to be the new floor. All right. So in other words, this is a bear market just getting cranking. All right. This is a early stages of a bear market. If the new floor is 2200, we're sitting at 23, 28 right now. The experts are saying we're looking at 2200 as a floor, right? So this is a bear market in the early stages, folks. So now different things affect gold, precious metals, and the dollar as well. These all tie together. Now their relationships are in opposition. As the dollar goes down, gold tends to go up. Silver creeps up a little bit and will drop back down for reasons I might cover in a different live. But bottom line is that inverse relationship. As the dollar drops, gold goes up. So you can imagine that right there will give you an idea how geopolitics can affect gold and the dollar and silver. All right, let me give you an example. Some of the things I came across in my research that people are saying experts are saying could affect could have gold go through the roof and the dollar head down. Speaking when the what do they say, the war sabers are rattling, they're rattling the war sabers, and that's happening with Iran and Israel apparently. That's something that's being rumors of war are being thrown around between those two, or at least a strike. I don't want to say war, but at least a strike between Iran and Israel. That could easily affect gold. That could easily affect the dollar. And there's things economically that some of these things you might have heard of, some of you might not have heard of, that are taking place within the economy here. So we have a lot of store closings, all right? And there's going to be, later on during this talk, I'm going to give you specific reasons why store closing is detrimental to our economy. But 3,200 store closings are supposed to be taking place within the year. And now going back to, let's go back to precious metals, all right? 69% of central banks are going to be increasing their gold stores over the next 5 years. I'm going to say that again. 69% of central banks are going to significantly increase their gold stores. It's called the Golden Globe Reserve. I think that's the resource where I got this, where the information came from. Gold Reserve says 69% of central banks will be increasing their gold stores over the next 5 years. All right. So we have a lot of times you'll see the mainstream media ignoring gold, right, or saying it's risky or whatever. But you have the billionaires buying it hand over fist. You have banks buying it. You have countries buying it by the ton. Who are you going to follow? The talking head on CNN, the talking head on Fox, or what the bankers are doing, or what the ultra wealthy are doing? That's just a question I'm asking. Maybe a question that you all want to think about, all right? But again, 69% of central banks are buying up gold hand and fist within the next 5 years, by the ton within the next 5 years. So, and potential banking crisis that's looming due to the commercial real estate loans. They're saying there's possibly 280 banks that could fail. This is from CNBC. There could be up to 280 banks that could be failing within the year, and this could be due to the commercial real estate loans and the high interest rates. All right, so potential banking crisis rumors there. We have that. All right, let's go back to the commercial real estate information I have here. Commercial real estate foreclosures have risen 117%, folks, over the first quarter, year to year over the first quarter, all right? So I'm gonna say that again. Commercial real estate foreclosures have risen 117% from year to year during this first quarter, all right? So I don't know what the mainstream is saying about this commercial real estate bubble, but it's there, apparently. You know, if you have any opinions or questions about that, please drop them in the comments. Again, I'm not the professional here. I'm just doing a little research and letting you know what I've come across, all right? But apparently, like I said, that commercial real estate bubble is here, and it's not looking too good at this time. So let's backtrack. I told you about the 3,200 stores that are closing, right? Now, let's look at the foundation of our GDP. The foundation of our GDP, that's our gross domestic product, right? The foundation of that is retail sector, the retail sector, right? And it represents 70%. The retail sector represents 70% of our gross domestic product, okay? And as I stated earlier, we have 3,200 stores shutting down. Another source that I follow said there's approximately 800 Walgreens about to shut down. So businesses are closing down. That's 70% of our gross domestic product. That's not a good combination, all right? And again, I think if you look at the mainstream media, it's saying everything's great, everything's fine. And that might be the case, but you know, I think we should do our own research, right? That's just my personal opinion, all right? Do your own research, find out where you feel the economy stands right now, all right? Now, during my research, again, I found a website called Shadow Government Stats by a gentleman named John Williams. Check it out again, Shadow Government Stats. So basically, he researches the government stats that they present to us and looks for the flaws that might take place, that might be present. ShadowGovernmentStats.com. So if you want to get the alleged, I'm not the professional, the alleged true government numbers, check out that website. Appreciate your MG. Appreciate that. Good to see you. Good to see you here on this live. And okay, I think I covered everything I wanted to say in this live here. As far as the geopolitics, as far as the precious metals, like I got presented, right? They all kind of flow together, all right? Because everything I mentioned, banking crisis, commercial real estate, that's all going to affect the dollar. Potentially the dollar going this way, and 100% gold and precious metals are going to go this way, all right? So do me a favor, if you're getting some value from this live, drop a number 1 in the comments. And if you want to contribute in any way, MJ, please go ahead and do so. Mike, go ahead and Mike, go ahead and drop some knowledge from me. I know we talk about this stuff all the time. So if you got anything, Mike, you want to contribute, go ahead. And again, drop that number 1 if you're finding value in this live. And I'm going to transition to the retirement aspect of it, and then we're going to call it a day. This is going to be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes max every time I do this, all right? So, retirement tips. Let's just dive right in. Follow successful retirees. That goes back to my point about the ultra wealthy and the central banks buying the gold. You're being told, you could potentially be being told one thing about the mainstream media, and you see what these big boys are doing in the background, buying up that gold by the ton. Let's drop down here back to successful retirees, right? Follow the people that you know are successful, have successful retirement plans in place. They're executing these plans. Those are the people you want to follow. So follow successful retirees, all right? Know your retirement lifestyle before you retire. You know, just don't, guess, okay, my money's looking pretty good. I think I can shut it down now. That's not the approach we want to take, right? We want to do our research, understand what we need financially to survive, and maybe have a year's worth of savings, whatever makes sense for you. But understand, have these things in place, your lifestyle in place with confidence before you reach out and go ahead and call it a day and retire, all right? And this third point kind of ties into the second point. Retire when you're ready, retire when the time is right, when the lifestyle is right, when the funds are right, your health is right. We'll talk about health later. When your health is in a good place, everything's lined up. That's when you can go ahead and ride off into the sunset and retire, right? Another thing, you want to take care of yourself physically, obviously. You want to take care of ourselves financially, but we also want to take care of ourselves spiritually, right? Feed that soul. How do you feed the soul? Stay active, all right? volunteer, do things that make you feel good in here. All right, do something purposeful is the word that the gentleman used. The video I watched talking about this. Do something that's purposeful. I say do something that feeds the soul. All right, volunteering is something that feeds the soul. Because when you're going through retirement in this economy right now, it can be kind of inconsistent. It can bring you down some days. But when you're doing things like volunteering, that puts everything in perspective, right? Helping other people is why we're here. Some people, it doesn't matter how you do it, people reach out in different ways, but helping other people is part of why we're here, all right? So, like I said, stay active, volunteer, feed your soul, all right? The last two are huge. Do not compare yourself to others, all right? People have different retirement plans. People started at different ages. You have people that, were just given a bunch of money and they can retire. You have people that are, their strength is finances. They've been saving since their teens. You can't compare yourself to other situations, all right? Focus on yourself. Focus on that present time. Focus on the moment. Focus on you. When we focus on others, we focus on the present. We tend to get a little anxious. When we focus on the future, we tend to get a little anxious. When we focus on the past, that can get us a little depressed. But we focus on that present moment the best that we can, and leave others out of it, focusing on ourselves to be the best person we can be. In the retirement case, financially, that's going to put us in a better place. So forget what other people are doing. And lastly, and arguably the most important thing, your health. You have to take care of your health. You can have all the money you want in the bank, right? But if something happens to you physically where you can't walk, God forbid, head trauma, anything, that money means, I'm not going to say it means nothing because it's going to get you the treatment and care that you need, but at the same time, that money is not priority right now at that present moment. It's your health. It's getting better. Having your health is everything, not only for you, but for others. You're a mom, you're a dad, something happened to you, what happens with the kids, the worst thing is something that you could have avoided. Some type of chronic disease that might take place. I can speak to that firsthand. Having a kidney disease. Now I've done everything in my power to stay healthy. My diet is pretty strict. Things that I try to take in as much as I can that's good for the kidney, right? But if I didn't take this approach, no telling where I could be right now, right? I had it in 2017. I'm fortunate enough to be here at 24, but that's not the case with everybody, right? There's people that take their health for granted, take kidneys for granted in my case, and it can go as far as not even being here on this planet any longer, right? Or you're always in a diseased or sick situation where you can't do what you want to do, all right? So 100% take care of your health. Put your health at the top of your list of priorities, all right? And I think I covered everything on this live. So this is I forgot the name of my own live, the Golden Future Weekly Commentary. That's right, the Golden Future Weekly Commentary. I'm here every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. I hope more of you are here as well. Tell your buddies, tell your friends. If anybody's, want to discuss retirement, have points to make, come here. I'm always going to talk about retirement, precious metals, and geopolitics. Like I said, they kind of go together. So I'm going to end this live, cross my fingers, hope this thing works again, and I will see you all on Tuesday, next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Have a great 4th of July. Have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.